But did you have jet lag to get over, or have you?
No, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I find going out for a quick pint or two as soon as I arrive and staying up as late as humanly possible. Yep.
Well, I found that what works for me is the minute I get on a plane,
Yep.
I set my watch to the time I'm going to be arriving.
Yes.
And then the whole flight, I'm thinking, so they're having their breakfast now. They're off to work now. They're having their lunch now. And that way, I get, by the time I arrived, hopefully mentally I'm ready for them.
I find being as sleepy as possible helps.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're still a working stiff, as they say.
I am. Yeah. But hopefully only for another 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
We'll see how that goes.
Hello.
Hi there. I'm trying to convince my wife and mother-in-law that we should be moving out to Courtney Comox area.
Oh, nice.
Haven't succeeded yet.
Tell them there's a direct flight every week to Hawaii from Comox.
Really?
Yep.
Who flies that?
I'm not sure. I think it's WestJet.
Wow. That might explain why there's property prices are increasing in Comox.
So where do you know Jill from?
Well, do you know Chris Scott and Sue Johnston?
Sue Johnston, I know.
Yeah, okay. So I've known Sue for about 15 years.
Wow. You probably know John Mackay as well.
Well, I met him at Hard Rock in 2011.
Wow.
Uh,
We're all
interconnected.
either active ultramarathoners or retired ultramarathoners. John used to be the race director for Sulphur Springs.
Oh, okay.
You heard about that one?
Yes.
Everybody he meets, they say to him, "Oh, I always wanted to do that one. I always wanted to do that one." I used to be the race director for Elk Beaver.
Okay.
And
I thought you were still putting that on.
it's still on, but I'm not the race director.
Okay.
I have stepped aside for a younger man. We're going to go up that side there.
Okay.
See that sunny ridge?
Yes.
That's where we're going up.
Perfectly highlighted.
Yeah. Sometimes there's a lot of yellow on there, depending on how much, what's it called, broom.
Ah, yes.
Scotch broom.
Oh, there's no white.
No snow. No, we don't get very much snow here. Mind you, this year has been...
That was the promise. I moved out in the fall. Oh, it never snows here.
Fool!
Yeah. They lied to me.
They always say, oh, well, at least you don't have to shovel the rain.
Yeah.
Hello. That guy used to be a runner. I've seen him go through various stages of rehab. Yeah. I think he might have had a hip replacement.
Slow it down a bit.
Yeah, well, it did slow him down for a bit, and then he was walking with a walker, but he still rides his bike a lot.
Excellent.
Do you do any cross training?
Usually in the winter I'm skiing,
Nice.
but this year, for various reasons, skiing was not as plentiful as I'd hoped
Oh, yeah.
it would have been.
I
Moving
guess.
to a little ski town,
Yeah. All right, straight across.
But, Jill and I do get out a fair amount. I've got a...
And Lucinda. I know Lucy.
Yes?
Yeah, and I know their little dog. What's her-
Chulita?
Chulita.
Yeah, they're all doing well.
Chulita must be getting quite old.
She is. But she's still feisty.
Yeah.
Sometimes when Lucy's been down visiting her parents, her dad's going through cancer
Oh dear.
issues, so she's been down to Virginia or wherever they are.
Hey Patrick,
So,
what do you think about the Mennonite house?
no,
Pretty bare.
austere.
Austere. It's been like that for about 20 years.
No.
Yeah. Everybody who sees it thinks, the new siding will be going up soon. Nope.
That's right.
It's been like that for 20 years. His neighbors are really pissed off with him.
I think they'd be over it by now.
Well, they say that he brings down the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But he says, well, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But maybe...
The rain out?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe he originally had siding on there and took it all off. I see arrows. Somebody is doing some kind of walk. This is about the 1 kilometer mark.
So where are you moving from, Ontario?
Toronto area.
Okay. Toronto, like outskirts of Toronto, or?
Well, we lived in Burlington. I worked in Toronto.
Okay. Okay. I've lived in Toronto a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Once in southern Mississauga
Uh-huh.
for about 4 years, and then I moved back there in '97 or '8 for a year working, living at my parents' place in Port Credit.
Oh, yeah.
Average pace, 6 minutes.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, it's an okay area.
Per kilometer.
Not my idea of fun, though.
There's the bunny shot.
Oh, very nice.
You can imagine if you lived in the houses back here, you'd wake up to that every day.
Very nice. Yeah, that wouldn't be so bad.
It's nice to have a playground like that,
Yep.
less than a mile from your house.
Yeah.
John was running with me on Tuesday along this route,
Okay.
but we went around the back and up the middle. This time we're going to go up that way, and you'll see. You'll have a nice trace on your GPS.
A few years back, I was essentially commuting to Montreal.
Oh,
Stayed in one of the downtown hotels.
yeah.
Used to go up Mount Royal for my runs. That was nice.
Yeah, no, Mount Royal, when I used to live downtown, was a fabulous place to run.
I started my running career in Montreal.
Really?
Yep.
Like your marathon?
No. I did the Bill Lewis 5K
Okay.
1 year. Then I did the Bill Lewis 10K the next year.
Okay.
And then we moved out here.
Oh,
And I trained for my first marathon.
okay.
Yep, there's definitely markings. It looks like the Hash House Harriers. Have you heard of those guys?
Oh, yes. I was going to say, I haven't seen any empty beer cans.
They call themselves a running club with a drinking
No,
problem.
drinking club with a running problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't really subscribe to that kind of, après-ski kind of mentality. Hello.
Let's just stop. Well,
It's all very well when you're 30,
yeah.
but, I'm 65 now,
I had
66.
fun with it. That's good.
Yeah, but let's face it, it's all about the running.
It is.
It's nothing to do with the beer.
Well,
Nothing to do with the party life.
Everybody has their own priority.
it's nice to have a pint or two after a nice big run.
Oh, yeah. But, not every weekend. I mean, I have a pint or two after every run, but,
Yes.
at home on the couch
Well, yeah, true.
with
true.
my laptop.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a bit of a hermit. Not too much of a party guy.
I'm just cheap. I brew my own beer, so
Me too.
I've got beer on tap at home.
I brew my own beer too.
Oh, nice.
I got some stuff at home at the moment. I bottled it about 3 days ago.
Okay. So, really fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't ready Tuesday.
As my friend said, green beer. And it isn't St. Patrick's Day.
Well,
It'll get better.
Well, It usually does, and it's usually right the best that it's ever going to be on your last bottle.
Well,
Yeah, my wife always
it's
says
not going
that.
to get any better at that point.
She says to me, I say, oh, this is tasting great. And she says, how many bottles you got left? 6? I said, no, 9.
Mine would usually be none.
Wow.
But I still have the sediment, you know, I don't filter.
Yeah.
So I'm bottling from the bucket
Yep.
into a demijohn,
Okay.
bubbling out the last 4 or 5 days,
Yep.
and then I bottle it. I put it back into the bucket and put in a little bit of sugar and then bottle it from the jug.
Okay.
And then I give it about a week. And then it starts to pick up a bit of fizz.
Yeah. And you store it a little warmer for those first 3 or 4 days?
Yep.
Because
If you put it straight in the fridge, it takes a lot longer to
Yeah.
build up a bit of a head.
You know, I let my primary and secondary ferment in the carboy for 3 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, I
Well,
think.
for me, I just let it sit for 2 or 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and I have a little fridge that I can temperature control.
Okay.
So I keep it at 18, and then I ramp it up to about 20 after a week and a half, and I let that sit for 3 or 4 days, and then I just slowly drop the temperature down to like 4 degrees.
Oh wow. Quite scientific.
Oh yes, my beer club is pretty serious about the chemistry involved.
Hello. I showed John this railing the other day.
Oh,
Somebody really hit it hard.
or a big tree.
No, it was a car.
Oh, okay. 'Cause it kind of looks kind of crushed.
Yeah. Or,
A car rode the rail.
easier or safer on a skateboard.
Yes.
I used to make wine, and the thing they liked about that is it's a procrastinator's hobby. So beyond the first primary fermentations,
Yeah.
you don't get around to it for a week or two, it's only getting better. So,
Yeah.
Well,
I left a beer once for about a month before I bottled it.
yeah.
Wasn't appreciably better, but
yeah.
hadn't spoiled.
Yeah, well,
No,
that's good.
It wouldn't spoil.
That's the important thing. But with the wine, typically I had it more than a year before I'd be bottling them.
Yeah. I could never wait for that. I mean, I'm impatient.
Well, I had enough going.
3 weeks is long enough.
I had 8 or 9 on the go.
Wow, there
So-
you go. Yeah.
So, kept them spaced out.
Our club, there's a bunch of guys who are very keen, and we had a couple of little projects where we'd buy
Little boxer.
we'd buy oak barrels,
Oh,
and these are 200 milliliter barrels,
yeah.
and there were 10 or 11 of us, and we'd all brew the same recipe.
Uh-huh.
And the first one was a barley wine.
Mm-hmm.
So that sat for 7 or 8 months.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one, almost immediately after that. Actually, I think I will jump in for a quick urinary.
All right.
The one after that was the Russian Imperial Stout.
A bio break.
It's, well,
So that's 1,250 meters. But I think I'm not sure if that's elevation change or elevation gain, because I know that the mountain's 250 meters, but
That would be probably 175 change.
yeah. This is the road. We're not going to do the road. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
classic.
Sounds like a car ad.
No, it's from Back to the Future.
Oh, right, thank you. I knew it sounded familiar. 2, yeah. Yeah.
You see this area here?
Yeah.
This is a nature school. They bring 3 and 4-year-olds here every day, and they sit on these logs, and they wander around the woods, rain or shine.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, until noon, and then their parents come and pick them up
And dry them off.
and dry them up. The only time they don't come here is if there's a strong wind.
Yeah. You hit that trees right.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of evidence that the trees do fall.
Oh, yes.
All right.
These days, I'd almost be more afraid in the cities than
Gotta make sure they see you.
Yes.
All right, so last time we went that way, John.
Okay.
This time we're going this way.
All right.
Into the sun.
See what we can do with the fall this time.
That wasn't a fall.
A flip.
That was a slide.
Yeah.
Bit of shoe skiing.
Yes. And shin ski.
Did you break skin?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Just a little rash.
So you won best blood.
Yep. Only blood, but best blood. Yeah, it was just a side slope and some rocks.
It's just a flesh wound.
More slippery than I expected.
Yeah, that's what I've discovered from, running out here over the years with visiting my parents. Never trust the rocks.
No. I know better, but I'm just badly out of practice.
But they were particularly slippery that day. Hello. 3 joggers coming through. Thank you. I normally use the J word for the little old ladies. They seem less intimidated if you say you're a jogger.
I've on one of the races that Chris and Sue put on, it was near the end of the 50K loop, and my running partner and I were slowly power hiking up this hill, and a woman at the top said, "Oh, are you involved in some walking race?"
No, that's got to get you.
And I said, "No, madam,
It's a run.
we are running, believe it or not."
Yeah. But both John and I use the 100-mile strategy.
Yes.
Run when you can,
Yep.
and when you can't, just keep the effort level.
Yep.
This little route is a real killer. You can see how that could hook you up. I have actually done this trail in the dark.
Ooh. With or without a headlamp?
With. Hello.
Last year I was out visiting when, do you know Mike LaBelle?
Yep.
He was putting on his Tonight's in Arms.
Oh yeah.
50, I guess.
They got 100 this year, I believe.
Oh, I bet. But I came out and I was too late to sign up for the race, so I volunteered to sweep.
Just giving John the old, get a move on. All right, we run again.
All right.
I always call them TH sections, traditional hike. I probably could run them, but I'd rather save it for the flats.
Well, you could run them, but I mean, what are you training for?
Nothing.
Exactly. Why kill yourself? Jill makes me run up hills. I don't like it.
Well, Jill's quite a powerful runner.
I know. This is why we make a good team. He's got the
Perseverance.
experience and endurance. I mean, I've been running ultras for 16 or 17 years, but
Good for you.
I've only done 100, so
Which one?
yeah.
Bad water? Hard rock?
Well, no, I didn't do hard rock. I was out there to pace either Steve Perro or Deb Perro. But both of them dropped.
Yeah.
At Sherman?
Hello.
Uh,
Sherman's Bluff.
I think. I've only been there once. I had hard trouble trying to keep up with the names of all these stations.
Yeah.
But it was going counterclockwise, and it was on the other side of Handy, I think. Or is it Grouse Gulch? I don't know. Wherever all the cars could get to, it was quite a scene.
That's one of the things I don't like about 100 milers, all the sort of the car shuffling that's going on.
Yeah.
You get to an aid station, there's like 15, 20 cars there. So I guess you heard about Gary Robbins.
Yes, followed in a little bit.
Shame he didn't get his goal.
Yeah. But you know what? After 60 hours of not sleeping, I'm surprised he even made it back.
It's amazing any of them finished the last loop. Some of the stories about the brain stalls on that fifth loop are epic.
Oh yeah.
But isn't it true that only 15 people have finished that race?
Yep.
I think there's like 18 finishes altogether, 15 different people.
I think the only way to do it would be as a team.
Considering that,
You see here?
Oh yeah.
They keep that gate closed till noon,
Oh nice.
and then they let the people up by car. So if you have a significant other who doesn't run, you can always bring them up here to the top by car. So this is another one of those fake wooden bridges.
Distance.
yeah,
3 kilometers.
which would last a lifetime.
Yeah,
Workout average
I showed John one the other day.
25.
Yeah, it survived the fallen tree.
Nice.
If it had been a wooden bridge,
Oh yeah.
probably would have splintered the planks. So this is Irvine. I believe this is Irvine. You know how it is, you get 3 or 4 trails going in the general direction,
Okay.
and then they all meet up for the final ascent.
Okay. Beautiful tree.
Yeah, but you've seen BC trees before, right?
Oh yes, but you know, this is I haven't been out here in a year and a half, so it's always nice to.
That's one thing I noticed when I first came to BC, how much bigger the trees were.
Yeah.
Hello. 3 runners coming through. Hi. Hello. Hi. Yeah, there's definitely markings all over the place.
Yeah. So Carlos, where are you from originally?
Originally from England,
Thought so.
but my parents were born in Spain
Okay.
and they moved to England
Okay.
when this,
Whereabouts in England?
London.
Oh, okay. Okay. My parents are both from the north. Yorkshire for my dad and Tyneside, Newcastle area for my mom.
Wow. You okay, John?
I'm surviving.
Good man. Well, we'll take the up one. When in doubt, go up.
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah. Well, at least if you're going the wrong way, you can make up the time quickly coming back.
Yes.
But you know, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but hills level the playing field for different
Yep. Different set of skills. Gives.
different abilities,
Yeah.
let's put it that way. Everybody has to hike something like this, unless you're a mountain goat. So the more varied pace group that I run with,
Yeah.
the more I tend to take the hills. Just to give the good hikers a chance to keep up with the pace. Yep. We're going to go way up there.
Okay.
I promised to film a bit of our run today. But
Our friend Gilles kind of made several comments. He goes, "Oh, you'll like Carlos. He's a good guy. He's probably gonna end up filming you."
At least you've been training regularly.
Oh yeah. I took the last week off. The weather in Montreal was just horrible. Or in Sutton anyway.
Yeah.
Cold and torrential rain.
Well, I'm a few years out from anything. Just trying to get back.
Yeah.
Well, I found, rather than get on and off the horse, I found it better just to stay on the horse the whole time.
Yeah. Even if it's a small horse.
Yeah, even if it's a pony. I train the same year in, year out, whether I have an event or not.
Well, if we end up moving out west, there'll be a lot more running. Although, depending on the snowpack, a lot more skiing too. So John, when was the last time you were at Vermont?
About a decade ago.
Okay. Hey, that's be about the same time I ran it.
It was, I can't remember what year. There was the fire at Western,
Yeah.
then the year before, and the year before that. Because I ran Western,
Okay.
timed out a devil's thumb, got back and thought, I gotta get back on the horse. So signed up for Vermont a week or two later.
Okay.
And did it.
When you say you timed out, you mean you didn't make the cut?
Yeah. I was going up devil's thumb. No, I was cooked. It was appropriate, I've been told. Then I applied for the next year and got in.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty lucky.
And finished it.
Nice.
And the next year, there was the fire, and getting in became almost impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got really lucky.
Did they have a bunch of rain checks from the year before? Was it the fact that they had to give everybody who...
Well, they had the 3-time loser rule, and then they had people who couldn't run because of the fire, and they had too many people, so they had to redo the rules.
Yeah.
One of those administrative nightmares.
Yeah, and whatever you do, nobody's gonna like it. So.
That's one of the reasons
Vermont was good.
I got
I
out
loved
of the...
running with the horses.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I got out of the race director thing.
Yeah. You damned if you do, and you damned if you don't.
Yeah. And then you're having to deal with all these super nervous runners.
What do I bring? What are you gonna have?
Yeah, can I bring my wife? Can I bring my dog? Can my wife follow me on her bike? You know,
Have you run a race before?
you don't ask questions. You do what you want to do until somebody says, nope.
Well, it's funny. I was running the Vermont 50 one year,
Oh, nice.
and this obviously European runner was saying, "Where's the water?" And she was a little girl, probably from Czechoslovakia or Hungary or something like that. And the race director or one of the race volunteers pointed to one of these large kind of work site water containers.
Yeah.
Water's right there. What? Are you kidding? You don't have bottled water? She was very upset. Oh, you gotta get used to what's happening in North America.
Yeah. The other thing that a lot of European ultra runners do is they navigate their own course.
Yes. And they've never met a switchback that couldn't cut. Yeah.
So we're just looking at the, what do they call this, a cairn?
No. This would be Karen. This would be a marker or
A
something.
marker, yeah, a distance marker. I'm going to do a 360 from the top here. You want to be in my video?
No.
You sure?
We'll hide.
You'll hide. Just duck when the camera goes by. Just duck down like that. All right, ready? Here we go. 360 coming up. So, my friends can stay standing up, all right? That is San Juan Island directly opposite, and Mount Baker way off in the distance. And downtown Victoria, I just saw John's and Patrick's face in the reflection. So I know they're smiling.
That's a grimace.
That's Sue. This is John. Hi. And this is Patrick pointing to John. All right? And that down there is Cordova Bay. Oh, cool. And over there is the center of the universe. That's what they call the Central Universe Observatory.
Yeah.
They have a telescope up
I
there.
thought that was in Toronto.
I was going to say, what are you pointing to Vancouver?
Well, you know, most people's centers of the universe happen to be where they are, really, if they're happy people. Anyway, we're supposed to be running, so we got to get a move on pretty soon. And let me just put this camera away.
Gorgeous.
It is nice, and the sun has come out for us, which is a double blessing.
Yeah. What's the mountain just south of Seattle?
That's
Mount Baker?
You are climbing on.
Mount
Rainier.
Rainier, yes. So I was out with my brother a few years ago, and we hiked up to the top of the snowfield where they start the climbs from. Okay. We went out for a hike. And there were kids hiking up, and my brother wasn't in very good shape at the time. And he was huffing and puffing, and these kids are skirting by him up the snowfield. He was not happy.
Oh. Well, it is amazing, you know, they're healthy young lungs.
Yeah.
They've got very little body weight. They have clean arteries.
They haven't abused themselves.
They haven't used their bodies as an amusement park. God. There's so many, what are they called, cultural references today. We've talked about Back to the Future. We don't need no stinking badgers.
Some blazing saddles.
Yeah. Bit of everything. That's what I like about runners, you know, we can talk about the biggest amount of crap you'd ever heard and laugh about it.
Well, we'll get the sheep soon enough.
Yeah. Hello. Well, the nice thing is that you know that every single one of these people up here walked up here.
Walked up, yeah.
None of them took a car.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah. I remember doing a race in Boston one year, and early in the morning we were going up one of the peaks. And there was a larger, heavy-set woman, and she says, "Oh, you guys are great." And I stopped, and I turned to her and said, "You know what? You are doing more than 95% of the people in Boston right now. You're doing great."
Nice.
And she's like, "Yeah, I guess so."
Well, most people, when I run with them, are probably going to be a bit bigger than me. So I always make them feel a little better by saying, you know, even if we were running the same speed, you're working harder than I am. Which is true.
Yeah.
Carrying a lot more weight for sure.
You know, some of the best runners were the people that lost a lot of weight. They have grown up with a big heart because they were big people.
Yeah.
And then they suddenly started getting into shape, and their heart doesn't shrink. Their heart's still used to driving a bigger frame.
Yeah.
I-
That's interesting.
I have a friend who used to be about 240 pounds.
Okay.
He got down to 175.
Nice.
So you can imagine the percentage improvement in his power to weight ratio
Yeah.
was incredible. I mean, I've been 128 since I was 15. Basically.
I was 225 about 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and was down to about under 170.
So that probably,
That's with the running.
that was your best running.
And then I've drifted back up again, and I'm trying to get back down. I'll be happy at 180 or something.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the older you get, the harder it is to lose that weight.
Yep.
As I'm discovering. I mean, I'm only 46, but try to lose 5 or 10 pounds is not fun.
Yeah.
Well, you see, Jill is about my age. I think he might be a little bit younger.
Yeah, I think he's 62.
All right.
Or
So
he's turning 62 this year.
he's always been about the same size.
Yeah.
And I think,
He's got a little pot belly going on there. During the winter, he just isn't running as much,
okay.
and he doesn't have that motivation.
Hang on a second. All right. Now, this is where we can show off our running prowess. Let me just get the camera out. This is a beautiful little camera. All
We
right.
have the goalpost up ahead where we turn left.
Soon.
Down this trail, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John's got a good memory. This is my third favorite tree in Saanich, this one here.
Oh, yeah, that's lovely.
That's a magnificent specimen of Douglas fir. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm pretty sure it's the woodpeckers
Yeah.
that make those holes.
Well, they got more supplies here for the trail.
Well, I think they're putting up some little signposts,
Oh, okay.
but that's been on hold for a while.
Right.
So this is what I call the glory zone.
Yeah.
All that hiking bullshit, this is the payback. We get to run this glory zone through the trees. This is the superhighway of trails.
Yes, I see that. Double wide lures. Yeah.
Yep, this is like the 101 of trails. Not the 101, the 401.
Yeah.
What was it they used to say? If you don't like rule 101, take the 401. Get out of town.
Last one out. Turn off the lights.
Turn off the lights. Yep. You!
That one we saw with the hiking poles going up
Yeah.
reminded me of one of my favorite memories from being Mount Royal. I'm coming down.
Do they still have a cross up at the top?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep. So it was one evening coming down, it's dusk, and all of a sudden I hear something that sounds like a giant mechanical insect. And it was a class of pole walkers.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was just the weirdest, spookiest sound, like some giant malevolent insect coming toward you. It was pretty amusing. I still remember that. It's one of my favorite memories of running there.
Hello.
Hi there.
So we're just coming up to the goalpost turn. Just here. Well, it's more like a hockey net. This one is a beauty, yeah.
Yeah, this is nice. It feels more like a trail than the 401.
And they were doing a geocaching thing here once.
Uh-huh.
And every time I looked at the geocache, it told me this spot, and I think
Oh, and you're there?
under there is the
Uh-huh.
geocache. Because I kept looking under this log.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how they're not 100% accurate when they show on the map where the geocache is.
They're not.
They don't want it to be too accurate. So,
You're going too far into that tree.
yeah. So basically, I think another day when I come up here, I will check that out to see if there is a prize stashed away. All right, so the camera has gone away. You!
So where did you grow up, Carlos?
I grew up in London, and I met my Canadian wife
Uh-huh.
in a laundromat in Islington. So we were both in the laundromat watching our respective clothes going round and round. Hello.
Hey, again.
But the nice thing about a laundromat is you know that unless they're going to abandon their laundry, you have their attention for at least half an hour. So I worked my charm on her.
So where? Whoa! Oh! Where in London? Hello. Yes, he's all right.
North London.
Morning.
Hello.
Griffin, get down. Griffin. Sorry. He's very friendly.
He wants you to throw the ball, right?
No? I want you to say hello to
Hello. Hello, Griffin.
You okay?
Yeah, well, I did take a bit of a bad bang on my ankle, but I'm going to walk it off for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, well, that's it. It's always a no-brainer when you fall.
Yeah. How did I fall there?
Yeah. I was talking about my wife. Okay, so we just finished our run. I have managed to limp my way home, jogging with my even more pronounced uneven gait. I hope that it is just a muscle tear and not a tendon detachment. But it's almost as painful to walk as it was to run. this last mile.
That's horrible.
Yeah, just when I was having such a wonderful time chatting about how I met my wife in London. Anyway,
Distracting.
maybe she put the EBGBs on me. Stop talking about me. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the running jackal coming home after a very pleasant, mostly very pleasant run. Having to fall in the last mile is slightly less of a bummer than falling in the first mile. And as I walk it off, I should be okay by Wednesday. I will be riding my bicycle for the next couple of days. That's probably quite a good exercise for the Achilles tendon.
Yeah. Stretch it out a bit. Put some
Yeah,
ice on
without
there.
too much weight bearing.
Yeah.
All right, so bye-bye everybody. Bye-bye.